I want to talk to you about composting today. Composting is a very important way of reducing the amount of waste that goes to landfill, and it also means that we are cycling the nutrients that we have in once living materials, organic matter, and reapplying it where they need to go rather than putting them into landfill where they are lost and also cause problems. So you can compost anything that was once something alive. So you've got any plant material, trees, wood, although wood you would need to shred to make it small enough to compost. And in your garden, if you've got a garden, any plant material, any grass clippings that you've got, they can go into the compost and then they will rot down and produce something that you can reapply to the soil, and it feeds your plants, it improves water holding and nutrient holding capacity of soil. So it's a win-win situation really. In the garden situation, if you have a lot of organic material that you want to compost, and you've got enough space, the ideal is to have a 3-bay system like we've got here. This is the bay where we are actually adding the material that we no longer need. Quite a lot tends to get added over the winter as you clear things in the garden, cut branches, pruning, getting rid of maybe old grass and things. So this is where we are adding material. The far bay at the moment is the one that we are just leaving to rot down. And then the middle bay is where we've got some compost that we can actually use to put onto our soil, and that is what then adds the nutrients, it improves the soil structure, and it adds lots of microorganisms too. So if you put that onto your soil, you increase the soil life quite dramatically as well, which then helps grow healthier plants. If you are in a situation where you've got only limited space, you don't have a big garden, you maybe only have some waste that comes from your kitchen, you can get one of these composters. Make sure that you put them onto soil rather than onto concrete, so that worms and other microbes can readily come into this to digest or compost the materials that you put in there. And you add your compost kitchen waste here, and once it's all done or nicely composted, you can take this out, and you can take out a little bit, or if it's all ready to use, you can just lift it and put it somewhere else and start all over again. With kitchen waste, it's important that you don't put in any cooked food, any meat or cheese. Those things can be composted, but it's important that you give those to the council collection, because they have special facilities where they can compost those, which are enclosed so that you don't get rats, and also it comes up to a much higher temperature so that any harmful organisms get killed in the process. With only adding like vegetable peelings and kitchen waste, it tends to get quite slushy. There's a lot of nitrogen in it, so it's often a good idea to just get a bit of cardboard or some sheets of paper that you then crumple up and put in a layer of those to add more carbon and make the whole thing drier. You may get flies when the compost is too wet, so that, adding paper would help with that. Don't worry too much about it. Anything natural will break down because that is the way of nature. So it may take longer if the situation isn't absolutely perfectly balanced. It may be a bit messier, but the end result will be the same. So just have a go. any material that comes out of the waste that goes to landfill and is composted and then reused in the garden is a bonus for the planet.